potion thingy is about, you know, a little over 3 foot tall. With all that being said, right, so typically in this use case, in this size measurements, aperture size of 3 is good, right? So this is the main thing you want to mess with. I'm gonna go in here, this here, yeah, no depth of field, under Control U. So there you have it, before, after. If you notice, one of the immediate things you notice is the wall background, the gradation is much blurrier, has a nice softer fall off, before, after. And then also like here is blurrier, right? I'm gonna save a snapshot. I'm gonna select that snapshot. I'm gonna name it depth of field on aperture aperture size 3. There. If I give the aperture size something like 10, okay, I'll show a render. Control U. See, much more blurrier. This is aperture size at 3. This is an aperture size of 10. And you can see clear as night as day, right? So that's why I keep it at around 3. Then there's aperture blades, right? I honestly don't know what the hell this does. I'm not a photographer. I just know that it's important, semi, kind of sort of important for our use case. Basically, it cleans up some of the noise from the depth of field fuzziness. So basically, I'm gonna put here 15. Anything more than 15 doesn't do jack. So this here, right? This is the one with the aperture size at 3. I'm gonna type underneath aperture blades 0, right? I believe it's 0. Previously it was 0, so I put 0 as well, right? For this specific render. Don't mind this one. This one I just showed it just now. This one is gonna be aperture size 15. I mean aperture blades at 15, aperture size at 3. So I'm gonna do that render now. Control U. Alright, there. So I'm gonna select on snapshot 2. Right? So you can take a good look. I'm gonna let go of it. Before, after. If I zoom in, this is before with the aperture blades at 0. This is aperture blades at 0. This is aperture blades at 15. Right. If we look here, aperture blades at 0, aperture blades at 15. So what I'm going to do is, this one that I just rendered, I'm going to save a snapshot. And then I'm going to put down depth of field on aperture size 3, aperture blades 15. Right. Wait, let me copy that. I need to select it and then type it all in. Alright, so this If I zoom in, before, aperture blades at 0, after, aperture blades at 15, before, after, god damn it, before, after, see, before, after. It does help clean up. See, even here, before, after, see it, before, after, see, here too, before, after. Kind of rounds it out more. I don't know, I like it. So that's all of that. And I think that's it. Yeah, I can grab this, right? This is the locator for the subject. I can shove it more back, right? So the focus distance, it recalculates to a bigger number, meaning longer distance, right? Here, it also updated. So let's see what that does. Where since I moved the end locator for the subject further back. Right, so I'm going to do a render now, Control U. What the hell? Oh, right. So, you know, it just made it more, okay, fair enough. So this is before, this is after. It may look like, hey, the fuzziness went away, the blurriness went away, right? So what's the big deal? We're back to square one. But you'll notice that the background is still blurry. Before, after, right? It's gonna be crisp. But if you notice here, this is starting to fade off, right? Back here. And this is slowly starting to fade off. And obviously way back there, it still maintains it being blurry. So I'm gonna save a snapshot. I'm gonna select this new snapshot. I'm gonna name this focus distance 209. Okay. This one, I forgot what it was, but yeah. So I'm gonna click on the very first render. Yeah. Here's the very first render. Yeah. First and last. Alright. So, or I can grab this again, and then I could maybe bring it a little bit more forward, like here. And so that it'll immediately start to get blurry, and then maybe I'll just grab this and shove it more forward. See what that looks like. See how it maintains the focus distance. So maybe I'll just grab this and pull this a little bit back. Control U. Or I could even just grab this locator and I'll shove it more over here. I don't think that'll matter. Yeah, that shouldn't matter if I... Yeah, that barely did anything, right? Because that's totally different. That's gonna have to tinker with more, I think with the rolling shutter, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna mess with anything more. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm not gonna open another more of can of worms. So that's the depth of field. Alright, so I'm recording this video a little bit after I stopped the last video for the depth of field. Anyway, I'm gonna splice in this quick recording so you can see the depth of field doing its magic, right? I switched the camera, meaning not switch the camera, but I moved the camera. I also moved the camera aim, so it's aimed at this subject, the magic potion thingy, more so than the Bomberman. And you can see the depth of field looking very nice, very, very nice. And while this front subject matter is very crisp and sharp, right? So that's all that hard work you guys were doing and listening to my rambling and how it's paying off very nicely. So just quickly, I have the camera here. I moved it. Just a quick review. I press T for Tom, right? So you can see the aim, and you can see also for the camera, and how I had this 2-panel setup back to this setup, render cam and the perspective. Anyway, so you can see this. I went over this in the other tutorials, but I'm just showing it again. You press T, you select the camera, press T, so you can see the setup, the camera and the camera aim. And I can rotate like that, like so. And then maybe the aimer, maybe I'll pull it down a bit, like so. And if I need to, I can kind of pull the camera back more. Or also tilt and rotate it. Maybe I'll tilt and rotate the aimer. See? Anyway, so yeah. Press T. Then you bring it up. Then you just move and move and move, blah 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 blah. And as you can see, the dislocator is set up. This one, the aim locator for a subject, I did have to, kind of place it here to get a better estimate in the distance, right? This is purely for distance. So that's the only little manual thing I had to do. Alright, so that's pretty much really is the end of that for the depth of field video tutorials. Alright, bye.